All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to the return of the chamber meetings. We've been gone, I think, 5 months without a in-person chamber meeting. Kind of took a winter break, so we're starting back up this spring, all the way through the summer and into the fall, and then we'll reevaluate how next winter's going to go, if we're going to shut down again for the in-person ones. Just to start off with a couple updates of what went on over the winter time. The angel tree that we did over at Grandma Nell's for the kids that get their wishes granted. They do 5 wishes, they ask for things, and then people pick them, the angels off the tree, bring the presents in, and that. We did 84 children this year, which was 2 more than last year. So that was great for the community to get involved. A lot of people, if they couldn't buy the presents, they pitched in money, and they also donated to our fundraiser too. So that was also a nice thing that was going on. The Christmas stroll, we had over 100 families participate in the Christmas stroll this year. So that was a great turnout. We had a lot of people, a lot of businesses that got involved in that. Hoping to grow even bigger next year. St. Patty Day riddles, that was another one that we're doing, and that was our 2nd annual one, right? So that was our 2nd annual. We had 56 entries on the St. Patty Day riddles. I'm gonna have to apologize, there was a little confusion on some of the times because getting all the kids ready in the morning, I didn't always get it done on time, like riddles, but Heidi, backed me up a little bit and helped me out on that one, bailed me out. We have a yard sale coming in May. We don't have the date yet. We're trying to work on the details, but we'll have that posted on Facebook and on our Instagram page, and then we'll also get it up on the website too. The Loggers Day will be in September. We'll have a booth there like we normally do, probably with Alton Bank. Yeah. And if anybody has wondering why there's like a camera and everything here, we're also putting this on our YouTube channel. So all our meetings now are going to be videotaped and then put on our YouTube channel. So for business owners that can't make it like during day meetings and that, they can then go into YouTube and watch what they missed out on. People that are, like for Autumn, who's going to be speaking today, they'll be able to come watch it at their leisure if they're at work today. And then that'll get them caught up and be able to get a hold of OZSBI. I'll always have contact information for everybody on the YouTube channel of how they can get a hold of whoever guest speaker was. On that note, anybody have any questions? I love when there's no questions. Okay, Autumn. And this is Autumn Shirley from OZSBI.
Thank you. Hello. So my name is Autumn Shirley. I am from OZSBI, like Wayne just said. I am here to talk with you a little bit about the Ozarks Small Buiness Incubator and what we do. I do make a lot of presentations to chambers. Chambers are usually...
He just went to the restroom. Oh, no, right here. Somebody's wanting you.
Usually chamber members are business owners, so that's kind of the relevancy if you're wondering here. So today I'm here just to talk with you about what some of our services are and how we can help your business community here in the Birch Tree area. This is the first time I've presented to the Birch Tree Chamber, so thank you for having me today. So the Ozarks Small Buiness Incubator, we are based in West Plains. Our physical location is in West Plains. We consider ourselves to be a community of support for businesses and aspiring businesses. Anyone who has or wants to start a business should feel comfortable coming to OZSBI for anything, whether you're looking for funding or how to write a business plan or some mentoring or even just a feasibility. Is this a good idea? That's really what we're there for. We also really help with skills building. So a lot of us are accidental business owners. We had an idea and it seemed like a good thing for the community and just sort of stumbled into business ownership. Many of us are much more deliberate about it, like Heidi, who really went through the entirely correct process for starting a business, in which case we hope to just be able to add to your knowledge, but a lot of us have nothing to start with. So that's what OZSBI is there for, is really to help build all business owners, entrepreneurs, and in the business community in general. So what we do in West Plains is a little different from what we can offer to our outlying communities like Birch Tree. In West Plains, these are our primary services: mentoring, microloans, business workshops, networking events, office space, and co-working space. I'll just speak to the last two, office space and co-working space, because as our name implies, we are a business incubator, and that means that we do have space for businesses to start in. It is at a subsidized cost, low monthly payment, including everything, utilities, internet, phone, and access to our Xerox copy center. So it's kind of a soft landing for a new business owner in the West Plains community. And then ideally, you graduate from our incubation program in 3 to 5 years and out into your communities to rent commercial real estate.
Broke the rule.
So that's West Plains. But what we can offer in Birch Tree and other outlying communities is pretty much everything except those last two pieces. Our mentoring services are definitely our most requested services, and I'll speak a little bit more about those moving forward, but I also want to talk a little bit about our microloans. We do offer what we call the OZSBI Microloan Fund. It's a revolving loan fund. It is different from the type of loan that you would get from a bank because, first of all, the interest rate is fixed and it's based on the Wall Street Journal Prime, which right now is 8.5%, not exactly low interest at this moment, but hopefully that will start to come down again. But one thing about our microloans that's really flexible is that we work with people with a credit score of 600 or above. A lot of banks won't look at you unless you're coming in at 700 or over. So we do try to really make those loans to people who wouldn't necessarily be able to get traditional financing. The other thing that's a little bit more flexible about our OZSBI loans is that we will put those on interest only if you find yourself in a seasonal business or any kind of financial bind. We can sort of waive your principal payments and do interest only for a period of time. And of course, there's no penalty for early payoff. All funds that are paid back to our microloan fund go right back out into the community in another loan. We also have business workshops. I'll speak to one of them. I think we brought 2 flyers for our workshops, the Excel Part 2 and the Grant Writing Workshop. Both of these are held in West Plains. Right now, most of our workshops are seated and in person, but we are hoping to move out into more virtual workshops this year. That's one of our goals for the year, so that we can do, potentially we could Zoom in, you guys, we could have a Zoom meeting, you guys could present it on this screen while we're in West Plains or Mountain View or, Ava, wherever we happen to be. That's one of our goals for this year, is to kind of be able to have more presence in our more rural communities. And then we also have some networking events as well. And one of them coming up is EPIC. There's a flyer about this as well. EPIC is our signature event. It's held during Small Business Week. This year it will be May 2nd, and it focuses on agriculture in the Ozarks. Which doesn't mean you have to be involved in agriculture to come, but you will find yourself right at home if you do. So this is our whole team. We're a pretty small team considering what we do. I'm the business development specialist, and basically what that means is I'm the lead mentor. Usually when you come to OZSBI for the first time, you meet with me, and we kind of do a needs assessment, determine what you need, and make a plan from there. Our CEO is, let's see if I can make this work, Heather Fisher, our CEO. She has been our leader pretty much the whole time, and she also came to OZSBI from a grant writing business. She had her own grant writing business in Thayer, so she's a very, thank goodness, a very professional grant writer. She will be facilitating the workshop coming up on grant writing, which if you have any need for grants for your nonprofit, or there are even some for-profit grants out there, this is going to be an excellent workshop to attend. Madison, here, the tall one, is our program administrator. She does all the scheduling, prints all the flyers, packs everything up for our presentations, and basically keeps all of us on track. And then this is Isla Sloan, our CFO. She is also the person in charge of our OZSBI Microloan Fund. Isla comes to us from 25 years in banking, so she has lots of experience with the numbers. And then finally, Jean Weinbeck is our mentor coordinator. And Jean is the one who's kind of responsible for expanding our mentor network into our outlying communities. And he has taken the lead on what we're calling our pilot program, our OZSBI Hub pilot program. That's a working name. I don't know if that'll stick, but right now we're working with the communities of Mountain View, Ava, and Thayer to try to establish a little bit of a remote hub with mentors in each of those communities so that you don't have to drive all the way to West Plains for mentoring services. So Jean is taking the lead on that. So why work with an incubator and why OZSBI in particular? Are any of you business owners? Do any of you have a business? Okay. And what's your business?
Eat there.
Say that again. Sorry.
Eat there.
Okay. Eat there. Nice. So like an independent contractor, you own your own company?
Independent, and I've got rent houses.
Okay. So this is why 20% of businesses that have employees fail in the first year, and only half of those make it past year 5. That's why we think an incubator is necessary, because companies that are nurtured in a business incubator with mentoring, low-cost rent if needed, and access to other resources, they have a survival rate of 87%. So it increases your chances of making it significantly. That's why we're here. That's why we do this. We feel very strongly that business, small business, is really the backbone of this country, and it is. Fun fact, it makes up about 80%, small businesses make up about 80% of payroll in this country, which I find fascinating because, we don't really hear about the small businesses. We hear about the Walmart and Amazon and Teslas of the world, but we don't hear about Birch Tree Laundry and more, or our heating and air contractors, which are making up 80% of the payroll and therefore payroll taxes in this country. So in this area in particular, in rural South Central Missouri, we have an exceptionally high concentration of small businesses. Does anyone have a guess on why that might be?
There's no factories?
That's a pretty good, yeah, I think that's what prompts it. Our factories have kind of moved out of the country. But also, there's a low barrier to entry here. It's less expensive and less risky to start a business in a persistent poverty area than it is in, let's say, Chicago or even St. Louis. So that means that a lot of us, when we need additional opportunities, that seems like the obvious thing. A lot of us turn our side hustles or hobbies into small businesses because it's easier here than it is anywhere else. Most other places, I should say. So this is just a little out of whack, but this is our impact report from last year. This is just part of it, but this is a little bit of kind of what we've done in the area since 2012 when we started. So this is since 2012. We have helped create 585 new jobs since we began, 73 last year alone. Last year we worked with 143 unique businesses who came to us for mentoring services, and those businesses generated $16.8 million in revenue. That's huge for this area. And then finally, just last year we helped 15 businesses launch. So that's brand new businesses in our 7-county service area that may or may not have been here, without OZSBI service. We're not going to take credit for the fact that they're here, but we do think that that 87% survival rate that they might be looking at has a little bit to do with the mentoring. So, mentoring. This is really our flagship service, even though we're an incubator and we have a big building with 21 office spaces. It's the mentoring that we consider our most valuable piece. And this is, basically, it's a free service now. We used to have to charge for this, but thanks to, right now we're working with an ARPA community revitalization grant. Prior to this, we were working with a different grant, but this is a grant-funded opportunity, which we hope will stick around. Right now, we're funded through at least 2026 for free mentoring. So mentoring can be anything from writing a business plan to just management skills. It's basically, you come to us and say, I want to start a business, I have this idea, what do I do? Or I've started a business, but now I don't know how to get my taxes in order. Or I've started a business and everything is going great, I'm ready to grow, how do I hire employees? How do I manage payroll? How do I take my business to that second stage? That's what mentoring is for. Whatever you find yourself in need of, you can come to us for free mentoring. You'll start with me, but you probably won't stay with me throughout the process. We have several mentors. We have about 12 mentors right now. And each of us has specialties. My specialty is marketing, sales, management. I do run a small business. A software company, so technology is also one of them. So if you need any help with marketing, sales, management, or technology, you'll probably come to me. But maybe you need financial help, in which case we might match you with Jean or with Isla. Maybe you need help hiring employees. We might match you, with someone else. We have tax professionals. We have attorneys. We have all types of mentors. So we hope to be able to fill all those skill gaps in the business community when you come to us for mentoring. So one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is our ability to connect mentees with the funding that they need to start their businesses. I know you all know Heidi, so Heidi and Landon came to us with an idea. You came to Launch You, I believe. Well, actually, you came to us first, then went to Launch You, didn't you? You had been in mentoring for a couple of weeks before Launch You, if I remember right.
So we had a meeting like this down there at Grandma Nell's.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. I do.
Yeah.
That's the last time I was in Birch Street.
Yep.
That was a Smart Start class, which I will talk a little bit about at the end of this. Thank you for
That's
reminding
what I
me.
came in and said I got an ideal in some land.
Exactly. So this is, Heidi, you are the perfect example of someone who started with an idea, came to OZSBI right from the beginning, went through the exact path that we were hoping a business owner would go through. Most of them don't have that opportunity because we only offer Launch You in the spring, and so a lot of times they don't get that chance. But Heidi went through all of that and then successfully applied for a microloan, received it, and built Birch Tree Laundry and More. So we consider you to be one of our biggest success stories. We brag about you all the time. Thanks. So, but in addition to our own microloan fund, we also connect anyone, people who come to us with other lenders. We work with other micro lenders like Justine Peterson. There's a couple of others in the area that we will refer out to. That's particularly helpful if you need less than $5,000. Ours starts at $5,000, or if your credit rating is even is lower than 600. There are other micro lenders who can help you, and we can kind of help you prepare to apply for those as well. And then finally, we work with SBA loans as well, SBA backed loans. So if you need a larger loan, they're usually looking at loans, of about $750,000 and up. Then we can help you prepare for those types of loans. And also with traditional financing, we do gap financing for our microloans. So maybe you need, let's say, $100,000 and the bank offers $50,000. We can come in with the other $50,000 in that case. Okay, and so workshops and events. A lot of what we do is hosting workshops and professional development opportunities. Some of those are at OZSBI, some of them are in the outlying communities. Coming up, we have a Smart Start class. That's actually tomorrow at OZSBI. That's exactly the class that Heidi was referring to. We did this Smart Start class in Birch Tree 2 years ago, do you think? No?
Yeah.
about 2 years ago. And would actually like to come back and schedule another of those if there's interest. But our Smart Start class is our kind of starting a business on speed class, not to be crass, but it's a 2.5-hour free presentation on just the basics, what you need to know to start a business, how to pick your name, how to get registered with the Secretary of State, how to get your EIN, your FEIN, how to get your taxes in order, how to choose your legal entity. All of that is covered in our free Smart Start class. And then what we typically really like to see is for someone with a business idea to go to Smart Start, have a feel for the framework of starting that business, and then come to us for mentoring so we can kind of help them through that process. You don't have to do it alone. We just want you to sort of understand the framework before you leap right in. That's not usually how it goes. Usually they come to us already kind of treading water because they've leapt in and now they're not sure, what to do next. And that's okay too. We can certainly work from there. We also have some professional development courses. I don't think I brought any really coming up for that. No. Really, the two that are coming up past Smart Start are the grant writing course and the Excel Part 2. Excel Part 2 is going to be really good if any of you have basic Excel skills and are interested in just learning more about charts and pivot tables and things like that. That's going to be a good course. We do leadership training, and we do a whole course on marketing and social media, and then grant writing as well. So another thing that we do is help businesses prepare for things that are, happening, potential. Help businesses be prepared for the potential. And one of the things that we have been involved in is preparing for this big kind of tourism trifecta is what we're calling it now. 2 out of 3 of these things are now in the past. The whole point of this is that there is a spotlight on the Ozarks. There has been for a little while. It hasn't always been the best light. I'm sure you probably have watched the show Ozark or Winter's Bone. None of those are real flattering for our area, true or not. But this is a more positive light, thanks to the Smithsonian Folklife Festival, which was last summer. They featured the Ozarks. I don't remember specifically if anyone from Birch was there, but I do know that we had Anthony Martin and his wife, Anthony and Rebecca Martin from Winona were at the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. for the Smithsonian Folklife Festival last summer, making gigs on the National Mall. That was a pretty cool thing. and the whole, well actually I was going to say the whole festival focused on the Ozarks. It's not true. Half of it was focused on the Ozarks, half of it was focused on world religion. It's always actually 2 topics, so it was actually a fascinating combination there. Really interesting, but they pushed a lot of tourism to the Ozarks. The vast majority of people that came to that festival were from, obviously not from the Ozarks, but also not from DC. It attracts people from all over the world. So they pushed a lot of tourism this way, and as did the Missouri Tourism Board. The next event was the eclipse last week. That brought a lot of people to our area that have never been here before, and hopefully some of them will come back. And then finally, coming up in 2026, we have the birthday of the Mother Road, Route 66, which interestingly is the most famous road internationally. That's the most famous road in the entire world for international travelers to visit, which I had no idea. And it's kind of considered to have started in Springfield. So that's also going to push more people to this area. We're not saying this to make everyone, spend a lot of money or freak out about tourists coming. We're saying we are just saying that they are coming. They have been. They're going to keep coming. There's several opportunities. Are you ready? That's part of our role as an incubator, is to help the business community be ready for things like this. And to that effect, we put a lot of work into creating a media kit for the Ozarks. And in fact, it's actually an Eclipse media kit. It's still available on our website right now. Probably taking it down this week. I was supposed to take it down last week. But then I thought I wanted to keep it up for this presentation so you guys could see what we've done. So the reason I bring this up is one of the things that really can help a region have a positive impact in terms of tourism is a brand identity, a regional brand identity. Now, we did not do this alone. We did not create the brand for the Ozarks, but we did work with a ton of marketing experts together to create to basically create a brand for the Eclipse, which I think we passed out Eclipse stickers. Those are commemorative at this point. Yeah, they're in the back. Yeah, and so please take some because, you know, they're souvenirs now. But while we were doing that, we thought, well, let's go ahead and create something we can use to show that we're from the Ozarks. So we created this brand right here, which ironically ended up being really similar to what the Smithsonian created. This is the brand that the Smithsonian created for their Ozark Folklife Festival last year. I thought it was really interesting that it was so complimentary to ours, and we did work together with their branding team, so we expected them to be, well, I guess to not clash. We did not expect them to turn out, ours was developed first, I'm not going to say they copied us, but they certainly felt that the project was on the right track in terms of branding. So the reason I bring this up is because this is just another part of what we do. We're helping to kind of establish a more positive regional image of the Ozarks and maybe move past, or at least in addition to some of the darker stuff out there, which I'm not going to say isn't really realistic. Let's just face it. Okay, so coming up we have Epic. This is our signature event. It is held at OZSBI, and this year it will be May 2nd, which I believe is a Thursday, and it's all focused on agriculture in the Ozarks. And we don't just mean farms, although certainly farms are a big part of that, but we mean anyone engaged in that agriculture space at all. So we have a keynote speaker, Kevin Johansson from a company called Ag Butler, coming. And what they did was create an app to basically connect farmers to workers in this area. Farmers to workers, it's, you know, seasonal or professional workers in this area. But we also have a roundtable at Epic that features 3 different kind of businesses that are in that sort of agriculture space, whether directly or indirectly. For example, we have Kristen Newman, who raises heritage pork. And also runs the Farmer's Daughter in there. She ships her pork to, you know, both coasts. It's well known. We also have Jolene from Piney River Brewery, who uses local products in her beers whenever she can. And then our third is Heritage Seed Company, I believe. Hamilton. Hamilton Native Outpost. Amy Hamilton, the founder of them, they are a native seed company. So those 3 business owners are going to be sitting at the front of the room having a moderated discussion about some of the challenges they've faced running businesses and some of the successes that they've faced in the Ozarks. It's going to be a really good event, lots of opportunity to network, and there's a pitch competition, which is, if you ever watch Shark Tank, it's a little bit like Shark Tank, except way less pressure and no celebrities. But there is money on the table. So this year we'll have 4 contestants pitching at Epic to win up to $1,000 cash to start their businesses. So that's kind of what Epic is all about. It's a pretty exciting event if you're at all engaged in kind of the business or agriculture communities in the Ozarks. And obviously, we could not do any of this alone, OZSBI. We do this with the support of our community, but we also do this with the support of lots of partners. We have up here SBEC, which is the Small Business Development Center. There is a location in West Plains. They also offer free mentoring services. And if you need any market research. If you are interested in starting a business or expanding to a new area and you're wondering, for example, okay, I'm actually almost done. This is my last slide. So if you need any kind of really good market research, SBDC is the place to go. Missouri Procurement and Technical Assistance Center is really good for government contracts. They can offer you assistance getting set up for government contracting. Howe County Commissions, one of our partners, SCOCOC, South Central Ozarks Council of Governments. They are excellent for grant writing. If you need to write grants for your city or any kind of governmental or non-governmental organizations, SCOCOC is the place to go for that. Ozark Vitality is all about regenerative tourism in the Ozarks. They participated in the media kit creation. All of these, and then ARPA is the American Rescue Plan Act, but they are the Missouri Department of Economic Development is the administrator for the grant that we are working through right now to offer our free mentoring services. So that's a little bit about who we are, what we do, who we work with. This is how to reach us. You can always go to our website easily enough or just call us directly. If you are interested in applying to become a client, it's easy, it's free, and we would love to work with you. So everything is there. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And then if you do come to our website, you can also sign up for our newsletter, which of course is free, comes out once a month, and has all of our event information. So I think I will leave this slide up, but that's it. And so, any questions? Does anyone have any questions or comments or?
I do.
Okay.
So I know you talked about businesses that are looking to start. What if you're an established business but you want to expand maybe into something else that is separate from your business but still like under the umbrella of your business? Is that something you can help them with?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. We work with a lot. We call them serial entrepreneurs. I'm one of them. People that we just can't stop ourselves from moving out or expanding or trying something new. We are happy to work with anyone in that position.
What if you have a 501c3?
We ourselves are a nonprofit. I also run a nonprofit, so we do have a lot of experience in the nonprofit space. And of course, our president was a grant writer, so we can certainly help you with that. What's your organization?
Her Worst Faith Ministry.
Okay. So whether you're looking for assistance writing grants or just some marketing questions, anything like that, we love working with nonprofits, especially me. My software company we sell software, donor management software for nonprofits. So in fact, I bought my company from Gene. So that's 3 out of the 5 employees at OZSBI are very enmeshed in the nonprofit world.
When you say that you help write a grant, do you have to come in with the grant of this is what I want the grant, this is the grant I want, can you help me write it? Or will you guys help businesses find a grant that fits their needs?
A little bit of both. We're not, because we really are meant to help for-profit businesses start, and the nonprofit thing is more of like a passion and the fact that we know that nonprofits also employ people and provide to our local economies. So it's a little bit, I can't say that we have a whole resource of nonprofit grants available, but we certainly have some that we can direct you to if you're looking for some. If you've written a grant and would like someone to review it, we can take a look at that for you. If you're interested in learning how to write a grant, the workshop is good for that. And then SCOCOG, I mentioned, SCOCOG is the organization to go to if you want to write a grant for your city, like a big grant. They do a lot of block grants, for example, for infrastructure improvements and things like that. So if you have questions about grants, my general answer is come to us and we will be able to help you in some way.
But if you use SCOCOGs, it has to go through the city.
Yeah,
Grant.
SCOCOG is really, it's really for big grant projects, usually, at the city level. So. Any other questions? Okay.
So you're so good, you answered everything.
I like to think that. Well, thank you for having me. It's great to be back in Birch Street. I'd really like to come back and do a Smart Start class if there's any demand for it. You and I can stay in touch about maybe scheduling that way, and I'd love to.
It's actually been brought up before, so I think that's gonna be a definite yes.
Fantastic.
So we'll just look at some dates.
Okay, I love it. Sounds good. All right, thank you.
Kim, did you want to have anything from Mercy? You wanted to just let, nothing going on that you need to, is there any vaccines or anything kind of you want to get people to think about for spring or summer?
Nothing new.
That's good.
That changes at
No
the
sudden
fall.
illnesses going around, that's good too, so. But, okay,
It's more fall season.
right. Well, summer hay fever is gonna kill me here in a little bit. But thanks everybody for attending. Thanks Autumn for coming out. Appreciate it. And we'll get this uploaded on YouTube, so if you guys can share it, that'd be great. I'll put the post on our Facebook page. And if you guys can please share it on your Facebook page, get it out to maybe specifically tag people in the comments section. That is also gonna it really helps us on our page. If you tag people in the comments section, for them to drive them to our page and then they can share it from there. So thanks again, everybody.